Yo, what's going on, guys? Ron here, aka News, and I know I've been gone a while. Sorry, but I just had to take a break. But I'm back now, and I want to cover the three decks that are new to this format. So of course we're talking about Yummy, Draco Tail, and K9 Vanquish Soul. Um, so we have Yummy up here first. I want to go over Yummy, and then we'll go over the other two. And I just want to talk about them, and I want to basically like break down why I think which decks are like strong and maybe not so strong. I'm also going to cover one other deck that I think is still really good right now. And so yeah, Yummy first. Yummy is crazy. I think of Yummy as kind of like Ryziel is, right? It's very easy for them to either normal summon or they have a way to just special summon and you never normal basically, or you don't have to normal. There's a lot of combo lines, stuff like that you can do that you never normal summon. I've played this specific deck a lot, and there's been so many times like I open up my hand and I'm like, even if I get interrupted with like one or two, sometimes three hand traps, I'm like, I don't have to normal summon. I can play around it. And that's like through Ash, through Imperm, through Valor, through Dominus, Purge, through Ogre, through Ghost Spell. Like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't seem to matter. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go down by card, and then I'll explain why I have the deck built the way it is. So going through engine first, we have Cookie, we have three Lolly, three Cupsy, the three Obedience, three Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage, and then we have obviously the Hornet drones to search off of the engage, plus Widow Anchor, just be having another search target, or if you end up going second. And then we have two surprise, and then one of each field spell. Field spells pretty self-explanatory. They put themselves back, and then you recycle your Yummy cards. Um, and then I have two surprise because this way, like if I decide to use one, and then I don't get a chance to cycle it back because I want to cycle back like either like some other extra deck names, main deck names, or whatever. I have another one in deck that I can search, and then later on recycle back the other one if I have to. And then obviously we're playing Dominus Purge because it's just really good. It's a second Ash, right? So I'm playing 6 Ash in my deck, and then we have for the hand traps, like I said, Purge, Imperm, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Bell, 3 Ash, 3 Fula. And then we have the one Triple Tactics talent, and then the one Called by the Grave. I just played these two cards because I really liked them, to be honest, and I was like, what else am I going to play? Also honorary mention for Engine is Pot of Prosperity. Um, I just like these two cards. I think they're pretty good. These just either allow you to like draw, right? I still like looking at my opponent's hand. That's really nice. And then Called By is just really good into. Um, I like to like for example against like the mirror. I'll banish like let's say like I'm playing against the mirror and they went first. I will use this to banish their um, Snatchy because you don't need Snatchy really to resolve. Um, and except for like to grab the field spell, right? You don't need it to quick synchro or anything. So if you can get your Snatchy off to resolve and like search the field spell, and when they go to synchro, there's usually like another like Snatchy in the grave. So you just like called by their Snatchy and you've already resolved yours and you don't need it to quick synchro. And like yes, next turn you're not gonna be able to quick synchro, but by that time like you should probably like clear their board and basically kill them. Because they're not gonna be able to snatch you back either. Right? They're not gonna be able to like snatch you, search for the fields like the other field spell, or if they put the field spell back, they're not gonna be able to search for it again. So they won't be able to kill you, and so you'll be fine. Um, and then Ghost Ogre is just good for just like removing again like hitting like Snatchy for example, um, or popping some of the Draco Tail stuff. Like if they normal summon the little red dragon, you can and they go like effective use. You can just go okay pop, and then like now they have to do it from hand, which means they eat more materials, and also they don't get the special effect from it being fused away because it's no longer on the field. Ash is Ash, Fula, Fula, pretty self-explanatory. Ghost Bell hits all of the Yummy synchros, so like effect to like put itself back. Return to the extra deck for cost, and then you summon two. They return it, and then you just go, okay, cool. And then yeah, they get cooked. This also works against other matchups. Mitsurugi, for example, like stuff trying to be revived from the graveyard and just hit it and it's gone. So yeah, this is the deck I've been playing the most, and I think Yummy's the best deck, by far, or not like a huge margin, right? But I think like it has like a sizable advantage simply because of the concise engine that it has, plus like the amount of like bricks is super low. Like like you have these two, right? These are technically bricks, and these are this is like a pseudo brick because like you you need like another Yummy, right? You need to be able to like normal one of these in order for this to be more powerful because you normal and then you just if they like remove it or whatever they just bring it back, right? So like this is kind of like having prayers plus like a Mitsurugi card in your hand, and then obviously we have the obedience, which is just like let me vomit 3 cards on the field, which is just fucking crazy. So yeah, and then also in another version of the deck I play Almirage, which you can normal a hand trap, and then you can make Almirage, and then continue your combos from there and stuff like that, which is really good. I'll show that deck later. Going over the extra deck, we have 2 Herald, right? You make 1 Herald, then you make next Herald the other turn. We play the Starham because if you Obedience, you make Starham, and then you just make this during draw phase next on your opponent's turn because you're locked into beasts. Metal Marcher, it just brings back one of the tuners, and then you make Herald with it. Pretty self-explanatory. The Cupsy, the Lolly, and the Cookie. Obviously, you'll play one of these because they recycle themselves. Typhon because sometimes game states get shitty, or you have to normal a hand trap. In simplified game states. Onari. This card is broken. It being able to reset quick play spells, any quick play spell is crazy. Like I've reset like Called by the Grave, I've reset Widow Anchor, obviously I've reset Surprise. Like the card is just crazy. You just target a quick play spell in your graveyard and set it, and that protects your field spell whenever you go to this, and then you just start blowing up your opponent's entire board when you're synchro summoning. Just this giving it protection is absolutely broken. Kagari for the combo, Gravity Controller for just either like having like that extra like damage step removal, or like there's like other game states that you'll make it clearing the extra monster zone, right? If you put like a synchro there. Link Spider for when you get nibbed, which happens because this deck doesn't really play around it. It plays around it as in like during like certain lines, like you can get nibbed because you can force them to nib before you make this and still play. So, but like it doesn't set up a negate before then. And then obviously 3 Snatchy because Snatchy's really good. And then we'll move on to the side deck here, which I'll explain as well. This is for Malice, right? Malice is still a threat. And then we have the Perulia because like drawing cards is cool. Judgment and Strike because going first, you just throw these in. Like you take out like the Fuelos. You could take out like 1 Lolly, and then you can take out like like Widow Anchor and shit, and then you just throw these in, and then you just kill your opponent because they can't do anything. On top of like your board, you've got like 3 back row set or 4 sometimes. Like you have this, and this, and if it's a trap in your graveyard and you purge them, it blows it up. It's really good. Like the normal summon Ryzen effect, Dominus Purge, boom, like super good, right? Like there's like cases where people like, oh yeah, you go to Ogre's like Ryzen, and then they're like, oh, then you chain Imperm, and I'm like, bro, I could just play this, and if there's a trap in my graveyard, it just blows it up. So yeah. And then we have Contact Sea and Retaliating Sea. So these just feed off each other, right? If this is sent to the graveyard, you can add an Earth insect, so you can add Contact Sea. I've floodgated like the mirror match. out with these. This doesn't do a whole lot against what's it called? Draco Tail as much because they can just fuse it away because it's a monster and it doesn't matter as long as they have a Draco Tail. So, but it gives you something to search off Retaliating Sea, which is really good because now this one's really good because if they go like the Draco Tail goes basically whatever their branded fusion is, their Draco Tail fusion summon, you chain this and then you just banish their stuff and then yeah, they just explode. It's pretty good because all their stuff gets banished. So if they decide to fusion more than once, like they lose out on like 8 cards. It's cool, super cool. So yeah, that's basically it. The deck's, like I said, super good. All of these are 1-card combos, right? So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 1-card starters. And then we're playing 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 non-engine. So yeah, super broken, super good, really consistent. Plays a lot of hand traps. This is kind of like Snake Eyes almost, right? Where like the engine was like, you could concise the engine down to like 15 cards, and then the other 15 were, hand traps. It's crazy. So we're gonna move on to. So I'm gonna stay on the Yummy thing, and we're gonna move over to a different archetype. So this is Mitsu Yummy, which is the deck I've been playing as well. So going over this, with the engine, we have obviously the Mitsurugi stuff. I'm not playing Aramasu, I'm playing Night Sword Serpent. I prefer decks with higher ceiling. Yes, this is technically a hard brick, but this card is really, really good just for getting out Flame Banshee, which I'll explain the combo here in a minute. Obviously, 3 Cookie, 3 Lolly, 3 Cupsy, Snake Eyes Birch for the combo, for crossing the combos over. Then we have the Mitsurugi, Ameno, Murakumo, and then we have the 3 prayers, the 1 ritual spell, the 1 trap. Yes, I play the 1 trap. This one only plays the 1 surprise because you're going to be recycling the surprise off of this mainly, and you're really leaning heavily into like either this engine that's always going to come back, or by the time like you're going back into the Yummy stuff, you're just gonna this is gonna probably be recycled already, so it's fine. Obviously we play Engage with the Hornet drones, again 1-card combo. That's also a 1-card combo for both engines, no normal summon. So yeah, really good. Also this piece right here doesn't require you to normal summon, where normally you would have to eat a normal summon for your deck during the combo if you were to play Aramasu instead, where this you don't have to anymore. So, we have Almirage for normaling a hand trap and then making Almirage to continue your plays if you wanna, if you need to, right? Like this is another thing, right? Like let's say you get hard stop, and you don't want to like normal Cupsy, or like you have one of these and you'd rather like special summon or something like that, and you have an extra like you have Fuwo for example that you just want to get rid of because it's dead. You normal a hand trap and then you can special all your stuff. Banshee for the combo. All this stuff is otherwise like super standard, right? We have the 2 Herald, the Metal Marcher, the 3 1-ofs, the Aranari, Kagari, Gravity Controller is actually for the combo. Spider for if you get nibbed, and then whatever. And then similar thing here, going first cards. I have these cards sided, and this is clean 40. So we'll do the 1-card combo. I'll go ahead and show off. So pretty simple start, right? You do this, alright? Ritual summon from my hand, summon this guy, you tribute these 2. 1, target this, 2 to summon, right, and then you go ritual summon again, summon this guy, yes, grab the prayers, and then you special summon the Haba back, right? And then you go prayers, activate prayers, tribute this, yes, thin your deck. And this is also a discard later on. Pay 800. It doesn't matter what you summon. You can summon whatever, as long as it's one of the fours. Murakumo, grab. So you can either grab this or you can grab this. It's up to you. If you go uninterrupted, right, you can reset the prayers back with the Inara, which so you, like I'll show that instead, and then we'll summon this back. Right, so now we have 2 4s. Now you make Banshee, right? Specifically EMZ, because it has to be EMZ for Gravity Controller. Activate this, detach doesn't matter, you grab Birch, you put it to hand, and then you go Special Birch because you control Pyro. And then here you link off, make Gravity Controller. There we go. And then this is where you get into searching 2. Right, so you do this, boom, effect, search Cupsy and Cookie, and then this is where you can discard the extra Habakiri that you got. Now look at this. So you have this, right? So you've already like passed the nib point here, right? So we did special summon, tribute, special summon, special summon, special summon, and then brought back the Haba, right? So like you get nibbed right after that, and then obviously this, right, which is again like where you can bring back prayers and or add prayers instead, or you can usually bring the prayers back because you could threaten. By the time you threaten like an Omni Negate, like your opponent's already lost basically. So like they can never like at any point, right? And then there's a point where you'll force it. So now we Snatchy, Mignon, right? And then here you can special Cupsy, right? To get the effect. No, and then this is where you add the surprise, right? So you add surprise, cool, right? And then you can go this guy, special 2 back, effect, no, and then you grab these 2, yes, cool. And then you can make the Metal Marcher, special Metal Marcher, using, you can use these 2 because they're negated, so you'd rather get rid of them. So yeah, make Metal Marcher, clear up some zones, bring this back, no, it's fine, right, cool. And then here, right, you can just special the Cookie, right, so you still have surprise, right, you still have surprise, special this, right? And then here you can make the Herald. Cool. Make Herald. Boom. Right, so at that point, right after the Marcher hits the field and they use special Cookie, they have to interrupt you, right? They have to nib you, which is fine, right? And then here you make a Link 1 again. Link 1. Boom. Right? And then you can activate this. You can bring back the Cupsy, right? Boom. There's your Cupsy. And so this can be your end board. Or if you want instead, you can make the Inari here. But you'd have to like take these 2, right? So you can leave it like this. This is like fine, right? You set this, right? If I had swapped these 2, if Herald was here instead, so you're supposed to leave the middle column open, you can put the Herald here, and then you can make the Inari as well on top of it, right? Which you don't need to do though, right? Because like you could just set back like prayers, for example, which would be good, but you don't need to do it. Like this is enough, right? You have Hand Rip, everything that they have is minus 800. All of your stuff is bigger because of Mignon. You have Quick Synchro, you have Omni Negate, Floodgate, you have Tag Out already. You already have Tag Out, and then you're gonna have Snatchy gonna be replacing the field spell later to like pop stuff, right? Every time you Synchro Summon, you're gonna pop something. You have Omni Negate plus Board Wipe plus Follow Up Search, right? Because like you're gonna be able to search like another prayers again. And then if this is engrave, it's a more interruption on your turn again, because then you can banish it, special summon back like Kusanagi, and then Kusanagi can just add you this back again, and then you're fine. Or you can do like prayers, tribute off, whatever. It comes back. Summon back Kusanagi. Kusanagi grabs trap, and then you have both on field at the cost of a prayers. So yeah, that's your end board, right? It's like the whole board's filled. Plus you have the bounce from the surprise, right? Or if you need like to find, if you need to summon another, which you shouldn't have to, but you can summon another Yummy. So yeah, and then like I said, I just threw like a bunch of hand traps to draw cards. This is really good. So I've been playing this whenever against Yummy players, whenever I'm going second, because what you can do is you can hold this for your turn, and then like you don't go draw phase, activate this, and that way every time they quick synchro and bounce back, or they go to bounce back, you you get to draw cards. So as they're interrupting you, you're refilling your hand to keep playing, which is just super broken. And then you put these into, you can put these two in. And then obviously these are really good, right? Effect to summon a monster, right? Spell card, effect to summon a monster. If they do Mignon, right, you can chain this. And it's, it helps. Because, it's a floodgate now. And they have to try to get rid of it off of your field. Or throw it face down, right? They have to try to get rid of it. But yeah, this deck has just been really good. You can actually play with, like, Snake Eye Birch in your hand, right? So, again with this, like, so let's say, like, you have Birch, right? Plus, like, a hand trap. You can normal the hand trap, make Almirage, and then you can special Birch, and that's full combo off of the normal summon. So you could have, like, 4 hand traps in your hand plus Birch, and that's full combo. Because then this isn't a break. It's super good. So yeah, and then we'll go over to, I call this Gummy. This one's not fully fleshed out yet, but you can play the Mimi Ghouls with the Yummies, which is really cool. I actually have my sibling, my little brother. He's playing this deck, which me and him played I played regular Yummy, Mitsurugi Yummy, and then my Raziel Mitsurugi deck against it, and it's really good whenever it I don't want to say it works, but whenever you establish a full board of locking your opponent under dungeon plus Yummy plus dragon on your opponent's field, or fairy. Fairy is also really good on your opponent's field because any special summon monsters from your opponent's hand can activate their effects, but that doesn't hurt Yummy. That hurts Vanquish Soul. This against Vanquish Soul, if you flip this up, they just get fucking killed because they can't activate any of their effects from hand. This completely floodgates Vanquish Soul basically. You have a decent amount of room for hand traps as well, right? So starters. So dragon's technically a starter, right? Because you can normal dragon, get dungeon, and then search off of dungeon for or you can normal dragon search maker, and then you can link it off for this, and then special Yummy, right? It's super cool. It's I can try to showcase. I haven't really played this deck, but I will try to showcase. So Hornet drones, Kagari, drones, activate drones, make it, and then I meant to grab this this one. Add 2 Yummy monsters. Boom boom. Here, boom, effect, and then you grab these 2, and then you discard the cookie, and then you special summon this, effect, grab being, I still think you grab surprise, it's fine, and then you summon this, right, and then you go effect, bring out Mignon, cool, and then you can special. No, you special the two. Here, effect, no, and then you grab these two, right? This, right? And then here you make giant, right? So now giant gets made. Boom, giant, giant effect. Grab. You can so here, so you can either grab dragon, or you can grab maker, right? So yeah, you actually don't need the normal summon, right? So you can go. Um, let's see. Yeah, so you can actually go grab. This card is actually some add a mimical card, right? It's any mimical card. So yeah, you can add maker, right? And then here you can go activate the maker, right? Maker. So you one is gonna be specialed, right? And then the other one's gonna be removed, or give it to your opponent. So we can give them either Archfiend or Fairy. So we can go, what do we want to give them? We'll say Archfiend, and then I'll take Dragon, right? So they take Archfiend, and then we can summon, right? Again, activate Dragon effect. Dragon gets us to, you can either grab the trap, or you can grab this field spell. Field spell's better because it locks them out, right? You want to lock your opponent. Pretty good, right? Obviously, you don't want to do that yet, right? Because, you know, you want to do this first. So you make the link 1, right? And then, let's see here. And then you can still special from here. If you control a link 1 monster, target 1 level 1 yummy. So yeah, so you activate this, get rid of Cookie, right? And then you can destroy something, right? So destroy itself is fine, right? Just get it off the field, right? And then now you can go activate this, bring back. We can bring back Cupsy. Yeah, Cupsy is fine, right? Bring back Cupsy, right? And then here, right? You have the ability to synchro. You have the lock. You have this, and then you can go activate the dungeon here, right? So now, so this doesn't look super threatening, right? But you have, so you also can do this, right? So you can put back put back this, and put back the other Snatchy, I think, right? If you want to, you don't have to do this. Just for sake, like, just to show, like, it's an option, you can. We'll put back these two, right? Because this one you don't really need in the deck, right? And then we can set this, right? And then here you can activate this. And then now you can add a Mimighoul monster from your deck or graveyard. So you can add you can put the giant Mimighoul back if you want, or you can get Fairy, right? You can special Fairy to their field, right? So you could be like, yeah. So like, say I can special this card face up on my field, right? If I wanted to give myself another level 1, or I can special it to my opponent's field, right? So this is your lock, right? So you have full yummy, right? With Cookie and Grave for the pop. Plus you're gonna have Snatchy, who's also gonna put the field spell up, whichever field spell you want, because both are back in the deck. You have an additional level 1 for Dragon. You have a Hand Rip, plus a level 1 that's going to come back. You have them preventing them from special summoning or activating monsters of effect special from the hand. And you have both of your special summonable synchro, right? Plus you were able to put back your Snatchy. So you still have 2 Snatchies in extra deck, and you have one in rotation that you can flip back to continue to resummon, right? So yeah, plus obviously surprise. It's really good. And like I said, my opponent's locked. They can't normal summon, right? Like if they're playing like, let's say their deck like for example, they have Ryzen in hand. They can't normal summon now because they have face down cards, and if they want to normal summon, they gotta flip these up, which means they got a negative loss on their hand, and they can't activate the effects of monster special summon from the hand. So, it just if they want a normal summon, if they need to, it's super good. It's super good. So yeah, strong archetype. I think. I don't think it's like a super contender. Um, another good thing about this deck is you can really clear out like your the Mimigul stuff from your deck very easily, right? Like you can get it to where depending on your hand, like I've seen it where my brother he literally has like all of these out of his deck. Like he gets the trap, the field spell, the make like at least one or two makers, Archfiend, fairy, and at least 1 to 2 dragons. I've seen him get all 3 dragons out like out of the deck, basically, and so you don't have to worry about like clogging them, like clogging your stuff. Or if you still have a dragon, like you'll still have like a maker, which means like if you have like two of these still in deck, you can still like you can still do it. It's super good. It's super super good. So yeah, I think this deck's actually really good. You can still play Purge in it because these are Earths and stuff like that, so they don't conflict, which is really nice. So yeah, and then so that's really it for Yummy. I wanted to cover that just because like I think this deck's really interesting and it has a lot of like ceiling potential. Again, I like decks with high ceiling. Moving on to Draco Tail. So this is a kind of a deck I just kind of put together. I feel like it's fairly decent. I think this is the third best deck in the format. But it does have the advantage of being able to play hand traps, right? So you have your Branded Fusion, you have your going second fusion card, you have your, obviously you have Pan and Urgula, which they have their effects to target a spellcaster in your graveyard, place this card on the bottom of the deck. If you do, add that monster to your hand. Really good to add back this lady here. Also has the effect that if this card's in your graveyard, this card's sent to the graveyard as fusion material, you can set the Draco Tail spell or trap, right? So that's how you set these, right? Same thing for our guy Pan here, right? Sent to the graveyard fusion material set. So you, I have these at 2. I don't really know if I would play these at more or less. I feel like 2 is good because like you can recycle the traps off of themselves, right? You can then place one Draco Tail card from your graveyard or banishment on the bottom of the deck, except this card or this card, a card with this name, draw a card, right? So you can go like use this effect. If this one's engraved, you cycle it back. This card's engraved, you can target this one, cycle it back, and then you just infinitely loop these and these, right? Your Branded Fusion, basically. Super good. So yeah, like I said, I think you do need to play all 3 of these because of the consistency problem this deck has. I don't think it's perfectly consistent. Even though it's got a decent amount of monsters, like it relies on these 9 basically right here, right? Excluding the trap. Get the trap out of here, right? I also have Cartesia in here. Cartesia's just really good, like as an extra normal summon to fusion summon, and she adds herself back when a fusion goes to grave, right? If you decide to link it off, so you can recycle her, which is really good. So if you like, you don't see this or whatever, a way to like properly fuse, right? She's just a consistency card. She bumps this from 9, which is kind of like to 11, which is I think really good. Especially considering the Draco Tail monsters just require like a Draco Tail plus a monster in hand. So like again, we play a bunch of hand traps. I shoved more Molcharmies in here. That way, like, if you're going second, this deck does do well going second because of, like, for example, during the main phase quick effect, this card fusion summon. Um, you can fuse these away if you have, like, if you draw like two Fua and a Perulia, or two Perulia and a Fua plus like any other Draco Tail. Like, you can just fusion summon on your opponent's turn. Super easy. All right, and also you're drawing cards, right? So you can drop the Molcharmies and then later fusion summon. It's really broken. Um, Ghost Bow and Ghost Ogre for just, trying to summon from grave or add cards from the graveyard to the hand. Deck or extra deck, right? So this hits Draco Tail trying to put their stuff back if they're trying to recycle their shit. I think this Ghost Bell is like one of the like better hand traps this format, even if it's not quite appreciated. I don't know if it's enough to play it at 3. Definitely playing at 2 is good, I think. So obviously we have Malulu, normal summon, quick effects, fusion. Summon this, you normal this, grab her, fusion summon, Cartesia, self-explanatory. All these say either. So the spellcasters setting the traps or the spells, or the dragons also setting, stuff. Pretty good. You always get to see these. It seems like from what I've experienced playing against the deck, you always see at least one of these traps. Which normally it's this. I see this one first because targeting a spell or trap, or a spell on the field and negating its effects when it's face up is really good. And then obviously popping or returning an attack position monster from deck or extra deck is good. Also, these allow you to draw cards. Drawing cards is always good. I like drawing cards. So yeah, and then extra deck we have the Arthalion. This is your main deck monster. Target monster on the field and graveyard up to the number of monsters used from the hand. Return them to the hand, so you can recycle like your hand traps back to hand. Again, like another thing, like you can hand trap your opponent. Like for example, like you could like fool your opponent. Fusion summon. Bounce like their monsters plus the fool back to hand, and then re-fool those them, because you can activate 2. Well, obviously if this isn't on the field, right? If you can get this off the field, that is the caveat, right? If you control no cards, or you could like do not Imperm. If you played Veiler, you could recycle Veiler, which because it's not a once per turn hand trap. Then you have Gulamail, however the hell you pronounce this. When you activate a card or Draco Tail card effect, target a card your opponent controls, destroy it, or 2 or more monsters since they graveyard at the same time while this card is in your graveyard. You can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this once per turn. This is really good, except for the fact that this isn't a trigger. It's a quick effect. If this was a trigger effect that you couldn't chain block, this card would be broken. It's flawed in that way, but it's still really good. Right? Because it forces your opponent to respond to a Draco Tail effect. Otherwise, this thing's going to do it. And then, obviously, you play 2 traps. So, we have Dragon Crown. This one requires a spellcaster and a dragon monster. Hello, spellcaster, right? So, you can still make it with Cartesia. Lose 100 attack for each of your banished cards. So, like, stuff for, like, Typhon, you can actually, like, use this under Typhon if you just drop it, if you have a single card in your banishment. If a monster uses its activated effect to special summon itself, or a monster with its same original type, you can target one of those special summon monsters, banish that monster. Also, banish all monsters from the field with its same original type. This against Yummy is just a board wipe. It's just a nuke. It's crazy. Yeah, self-explanatory. This is like the anti-Yummy card. Secretarion. Again, Dragon Spellcaster. Loses 100 for each of your banished cards. While you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon dragon or spellcaster monsters they control. This is a floodgate for the mirror. Target a dragon and 1 spellcaster in your graveyard, special summon 1, and if you do, place the other on the bottom of the deck. recycles. You can bring back this during the main phase in quick fusion, right? So you can like take this and put this back, right? Which is really good. Um, or you can put back like Cartesia. You can put back these. These are dragons. Um, yeah, really good card. Regis, one level 7 or higher dragon monster. So it can't be these because these are, or it can be this guy. So you can use this plus another one. Um, During the main phase quick effect, target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard banishment. Then, if you banished a card on the field, return a dragon monster you control to the hand. So you can bounce like stuff back. So you can bounce like this guy back to your hand. This stuff. You can bounce back the fusion monsters. Like you can bounce back this guy to the extra deck, which is fine. This is also really good just for like banishing Snatchy out of the grave when they go to like tag out. If they have only the one Snatchy, you can just rip that motherfucker, and then they're sad because they can't synchro anymore. If you do special summon, if this card is in your graveyard, at the start of your opponent's battle phase, if this card's in your graveyard, return a dragon monster you control for the hand or field, or the extra deck special summon this card. Really good. Just being able to bring this card back. It's a 3,000 beat stake. It's hard to get around. It also recycles stuff. Again, really good. Typhon because of Typhon. This is for Hieratic Seals, right? Dragon or Spellcaster, right? This. Doesn't matter. So you just get another. So if you can get 2 dragons on the field, you just need or you can use this to obviously, like I said, make seals. This to make Selene, so you can bring back like Cartesia or like one of these two. Like bringing back this is really good. SP is SP and Cross Sheep because it's a fusion based strategy, and then you can fusion special summon a 1 level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard. Special summon this guy or this guy, both really good. Like you can so like you can special this guy, and then you can add this to your hand, and then fusion summon. Or you can special this guy, and then you can fusion summon. So yeah, really good. Adds layers of interruption. So yeah, the only problem I have with this deck is like it's slightly awkward. I haven't played this deck a whole lot myself. I played like maybe like 5 games, and I won most of them, but I don't know. It just feels sort of clunky in a way. I think we're getting new Draco Tail stuff, which is gonna help, but I don't know. And I don't think playing it with Branded is also like the super highest ceiling best option. Excuse me, because yeah, like your ceiling is a lot higher, but like I feel like it's too bricky, right? Because like they don't mesh with each other perfectly, right? They both do fusion summoning. They both do, whatever, right? But they do it mainly for their archetype, and there just are ways to blend, which I don't know. Like I said, not perfect. So yeah, and then onto this deck. This is the combo deck for the format, right? And I think it's really good. Problem is, again, excuse me. So this is a similar list to something that topped the Vancouver YCS. I don't like how much non-engine it plays. It doesn't play enough. And it needs multiple cards in hand to really there are gonna be times that you're gonna start and you're gonna look at your hand and you're gonna be like, wow, I can play through like 5 hand traps right now, which can happen. But there's also times that you look at your hand and you're like, oof, right? Like I have like 2 or 3 plays, and it heavily relies on like revealing, and it's just, ugh, it's clunky, right? Don't get me wrong, incredibly like normal summon Razin, full combo, right? For the most part, right? As long as you have the necessary attributes. But I don't know. I played. So we'll go by card, and then I'll explain again. 3 Rosin, obvious. 3 Mad Love, pretty obvious. 3 Holisu, I don't know. Uh, 3 3 Long, I don't know how to pronounce that. 3 Borger, um, I don't know about that either. Like I said, I just kind of copied this deck. I've played against it. I don't know the exact ratios. Uh, 1 Field Spell, 3 Soul, um, Prosperity for consistency, Reinforcement for consistency, and then we have the Azuna plus Lupus plus Jokul, Lantern, right? K9 package, 3 case for K9, rank up spell, and then we have the hand traps. 3, 3, 3. We have 9 hand traps. And like the couple videos that I watched on this deck. Oh, also this is for this in the deck. Just to get out of the way, is for Infinity. Um, like to suck up Infinity, right? It's a Cyber Dragon monster. So you basically like against Crystron, K9, you just suck up their Infinity plus like one of their extra deck monsters in the EMZ zone, and just yeah, that's all this is for. But yeah, I don't like that you're like the amount of hand traps that you're playing is not enough. Like granted, right? This is a hand trap, so technically, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. Technically, I guess, but I don't know. I've played against this deck, and I played using something similar to this, right? This is basically what I played. And I didn't really have an issue against the deck. Even going second, because of the amount of hand traps I played. Because I was trading 1-for-1 with his hand traps. Or with his cards, right? He was like, normal summon Rosin. And I was like, okay, cool, Ash. And then he was like, whatever from there, right? And I had like, I think I had 3 hand traps, so I had like this, and one of these 2, I think. And then I hit the Lupus with this, yeah, because I had Ghost Bell for sure. I hit Lupus, and I was like, and he was just kind of like, cool, like as long as you could trade like 1-for-1 for them, it seems like, right? Because they need multiple cards in hand to really like go off, like they just fall apart. It seems like. So we'll see on the next ban list on how like this goes with Mitsurugi and Raizu. Hopefully they don't hit Raizu or Mitsurugi that hard. I'd rather them hit Raizu than Mitsurugi, right? I'd rather them be like 1 Ice, 1 Sword, 1 EXT, ban Star, ban Detonator, whatever, right? And then I'd be like, that sucks. At least I can still play Mitsurugi. Because Mitsurugi's fun. I think Mitsurugi is a strong, fun archetype. Like, you can't really splash it into everything, and it can be played pure, right? It does have an ability to be splashed, which is good. And, like, still, like, the board that this deck makes is just crazy, right? So going, like, let's see. We'll just do the 1. I don't want 21. I want 1. Right, so you can do this instead. Special. Trying to think. Dump. Yeah, this. It's very similar to before, but you can get a little bit more, I think. This plays around Nib, by the way. I mean, I'm sure that was obvious, but so you make 4. Set field spell, activate field spell, make duo, using these 2, put duo here, And then actually what you do instead is make imps. Make imps. And then you go imps, detach, sword, grab Haba. And then you go this, detach these two. Right? And then you get node and ice. Yeah. Because now you have a discard and shit. So now you can go activate this, summon, tribute off the imps, effect, ritual spell. Yeah, this is the better version of the combo. Show a monster from hand, tribute these two, summon, effect, recycle, summon, right, effect, ritual, get rid of, summon, effect, trap, yep, bring back, summon, you can make 2 Garas, I guess, right, let's see here, what else can we make, trying to see here, trying to think, like I want to get like the maximum amount out of this, so you can do trying to see if I can get like another like 4 Rise Seals on the field, but I don't think I can here. Which is fine. You could do Shuffle Back, you can do Ragna, you could do Timeless. So we'll do Maximum Interruptions. Summon, activate this, shuffle back these two, right? A completely insulated combo, by the way, right? So this is our draw, right? We'll just whatever, right? This, you special this. You'd prefer this would be a hand trap, right? But whatever. Special, send, target sword, and then here you make detonator. Imps is already engraved for it. Now you have ice for follow-up. Set this. And so what you have here, right, is everything is 800 less on his field. Actually, there's 1,000 difference. It's 1,000 difference between my monsters and his, because this is going to be mine are boosted 100, his are minus 100, plus the 800 that his is losing. So there's 1,000 attack difference between my monsters and his, whatever he summons. We have quick effect pop, draw a card. We have response pop a card 3 times. And revive because of twins. Hand rip, omni negate for monsters with duo having extra material. So we can duo rip a duo negate a monster and still have the ability to rag a 0 pop because this is on the field. Omni negate from purification and like I said, follow up in hand, right? I can normal this, right? Crazy, right? Obviously this would, for you'd prefer this to be like a hand trap or something instead of you getting like rid of another engine piece. So yeah, and then this, like I said, this was maximum interruptions. I could have like tried to draw cards, but like I said, the deck was already set, so you know I probably wasn't gonna draw, but like except like engine. So yeah, so how many interruptions we have? We have 1, 2, 3 because this is gonna tribute and come back and blow up the board. So yeah, so hand rip, omni negate, blow up, draw a card, negate, pop, revive. That's 9 interruptions. That's 9 actual interruptions. Plus, technically, minus 1,000 difference total. So I have 10 effects that my opponent is going to have to go through. So yeah, that's really. Plus, this is gonna give me follow up on the next turn, because it's gonna be in the grave. I can banish it and tribute another card to bring it back, bring something back, which means I can bring back this and kill it. Really, 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 really strong, right? So, hopefully this deck doesn't get hit, but it's probably going to. So yeah, but so I also wanted to cover this deck. I'm just gonna do it really quickly. This is, I mean, you've seen this deck. You know how it plays. You know what it does. I showed you a combo. I showed you 2 combos. So yeah, I still think that this deck is just incredibly overpowered, in the sense of like, it's still highly consistent. It builds a huge board. It's a combo deck that has a high floor is the thing, right? So deck shuffling, yeah, starting hand, 5, right? Cool. Going second, I have 2 hand traps. Going first, I have a starter and I kind of like a pseudo brick, but technically also an extender, right? Right? Starter, protection, hand trap, super good. Starter, these 2 are starters. This is an extender now. 2 hand traps. Starter, 2 pseudo bricks, technically extenders if I can get a Raziel on the field, or an XYZ, plus 2 hand traps if I'm going second. Starter, extender, 2 hand traps for going second, starter and extender. So I've, yeah, pretty good. And then we'll do one more. Starter, 3 hand traps for going second. Not the best starter, I will say, but starter nonetheless. Right? So yeah, this deck is still really good. Very powerful. Plays more bricks than most, right? Technically brick, technically brick, technically brick. Technically brick. Technically a brick. Technically a brick. So it plays 6, which is double the amount you normally want to play in 40 cards. This is 41, so we'll just call it at that, right? Whatever, 40, 41, basically the same thing. Close to the same math. But, yeah. Like, if this was, old format, where we could play, like, 3 of these and 3 of these, and I would cut this out, it would be broken. Right, because we have 3 of this. You could play 2 of this, right, just to keep it at 40. I liked playing this at 3. It had a little different math on that deck. It has the 3 trifectas. It has Bonfire, right? Assuming, like, Bonfire got hit to 1 and then these were left alone. Or maybe if, like, X was at 2 and then these were just left at 3. Like, you know, but regardless, here we are. Exit without saving. So yeah, those are the decks for this format I wanted to go over. I think, in my opinion, the most powerful deck right now in the format, in my personal opinion, is still Raziel Mitsuru. It does the same thing Yummy does, right? Starters are extenders, extenders are starters. It has recursion, better recursion than Yummy does. It allows you to draw cards with them. They have a non-respondable monster negate. You have removal. You have hand rip ability. You have board wipe capability, which Yummy just can't really deal with, right? Like, Murakumo just blowing the board against Yummy hurts so bad. So, in order, I think Yummy number 1, Draco number 2, K9 Soul number 3. And I only say that, I think this deck is crazy. The issue is it doesn't play enough non-engine, and for it being a combo deck, it's too hand reliant, right? Like, you can cripple them with like 2 hand traps. Again, there's gonna be times you're gonna hand trap them 2 or 3 times, and they're gonna be like, "Ha, I'm gonna play anyways." But they need like a crazy hand, and that means they're not gonna have hand traps for you because their hand is full of engine. So you just have to play with the board. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about this format. Tell me if you think I'm right, if I'm wrong. Right. So basically, like first place, like I said, Raizo Mitsurugi. I think it goes really well into all these matchups. I've been playing it into this format, still really good. If not first place, it's tied with Yummy, just because Yummy can shove so many hand traps into it. Second place Draco Tail, third place Soul. We do have like the trifecta going on, right? Where Yummy kind of beats Vanquish Soul beats Draco Tail beats Yummy, right? You have this like trifecta going on, and then you have this fucking outlandish child doing whatever it wants, playing its own game kind of thing. So yeah, but like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Sorry I was gone for so long without a notification of my hiatus, but I needed a break from this game. But so yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.